Hello. Welcome back to week 2 of creating a new art collection and sharing the journey here. My name's Cara Sanders, and this week I'll be sharing what I've been working on. I also share this story about how I was haunted by a painting, which then leads me into sharing how I start a collection and why it's important for me to be in a good headspace when I create, feeling really positive, because that energy actually goes into the paintings, which is wild. So yeah, this week I started and finished it. I'm really enjoying the mixture of like the sharp lines and the curved lines. Like I also love like the blockness in the pieces. I feel like it allows your eyes to rest, and the shadows add like a little bit of depth, so your eyes really get pulled in. So I'm really enjoying where this new direction is going. I also started a commission for a client up in Southport on the Gold Coast, and I sold a big painting. And I also went down to the rock pools twice, once to film with a friend and start a new piece. Car's packed. I'm just about to head down to the rock pools to getting some videos of my process just being out in nature and creating. This is where we're gonna set up. Oh shit. So magic. This is my local. And the second time I went down with mum and our little dog Coda, and I took my iPad down and I set up by the rock pools, and it was just so nice to just paint on my iPad. Like I love the iPad for this reason, because you can just paint wherever you go. Sometimes it's a bit hard to take the canvases with you wherever you go, and so having the iPad, and I use Procreate, which allows me to, same as painting, like play with the different brushes, like pick your colors. And I was just sitting by the rock pools and just like looking at the way that the light and the trees curve in, the light reflects on the water. Yeah, I'm doing that a lot more in the process of creating this series, except we do have a cyclone coming this week, which is pretty wild. So hopefully everyone is prepared and safe and will be in lockdown mode when that comes through. So wild. But before I started this new series, I like to make sure that I am in a really good headspace when I create, and I'll sage the space, I'll meditate before I create the works, because it's so important for me just to be in a beautiful energy before I create the artwork, because I was haunted by an artwork once. And this was a time when I was living in West End in Brisbane, and I was living with 3 other girls, and the energy in the house was just so beautiful. Like it was such a special space, and we all got along really well. And this particular week, we found like a bunch of furniture on the street, and we're like, this is sick, let's bring it in. And I also got given an artwork by my favorite artist at the time, and I was like, this is so cool. We're going to Laneway that week, and I got all these photos with this artwork, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. Like, what I got. Didn't think anything of what the painting actually was, and was just stoked to have it. And then as the days went on, just weird things started happening in this house, like bizarre things. One night, we all woke up and we felt like so one of the girls has a cat, and we felt like the cat was on our beds, because there was like all this pressure on the beds next to our legs, and we all woke up feeling like that. You know, the cat wasn't in all of our rooms, like we had the doors shut. So that was really weird. It just just pressure next to the bed. And then we would all go to sleep, and as we were just about to fall asleep, we would get this presence, like this. It was honestly like, I remember it being like this figure, male energy, like he was wearing a hat, and he was just like a shadow and just skinny, and he would stand above the bed, and I would just get like this rush, like this, all these goosebumps like covering my body, and I would have to tell it to leave. Like I would say, please go away, please go away. After like a few minutes it would leave, and then like the goosebumps would go away, and I would see him disappear, and it was just weird. And then another night I had this dream where I thought that there was a fire in the house, and I went out in my dream, like I went outside and there was like smoke, like I thought there was smoke, and I went outside and didn't, and then like nothing kind of happened. And then I woke up and I said to the girls, like, I had this weird dream. They're like, yeah, you texted us, like you said that there was a fire inside. And I was like, oh my God, what? Did I really go outside, or was it a dream? Like, I thought this was a dream. It was weird. And then like this figure just like kept coming back every night, and it was starting to get like real freaky. So I got a sage stick and I was just like saging the house. And then I like came up to the painting and I staged the painting, and the whole thing just like lit up and like turned to ashes. And I was like, holy shit, like I am not sleeping alone tonight. So I went and slept in one of the girls' rooms, and I was like, in bed with her, I was like, nah, this is just weird. Like, I'm gonna take the painting back tomorrow, but this is weird. And then like the freakiest thing happened. And then, well, this is so freaky. And then as I was going to sleep, my friend next to me rolls over and she grabs the back of my shirt and she says, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And repeats it 3 times as she's holding the back of my shirt, fully possessed. And I was like, Sarah, like, wake up, like, do you know what you just said? And she was like, oh, babe, what's up, babe? And I was like, nah, do you know what you just said? And she was like, what? I was asleep. I was like, nah, this is weird. Oh my God, I was like terrified. Like put a pillow beside, like in between us, but then like couldn't handle it, and then had to leave the room, and then went into the kitchen. It was just like early hours in the morning. I was like hysterical. Like I like collapsed on the ground. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, what the hell just happened? Sarah's in there possessed. Like, I'm like, what is going on? And then the next day I took the painting with me in the car, and the whole time I had the painting with me, I had like goosebumps all over my body. Like I was like, oh wow. And then took the painting back to the person that gave it to me, and I was like, this cannot be in our house. And he was just like a bit weird about it. And then, you know, coming home, like the energy in the house was like back to normal. It was like, it was just like business as usual. It was just normal. Like, yeah, it was weird. No more like man above the bed. Like it was just no more pressure, no more smoke, like no more possessed housemates. And then it was like a couple of weeks later, and I said to the guy that gave it to me, I was like, so whatever happened to that painting? And he was just like, it's at the frame. He's like, oh, that painting can't be around people. I was like, why did you give it to me? Like, why? The painting was actually this, it was like on this like bit of paper framed. It had this like watermark in the edge, and it was of this person painting a picture, and coming out of the painting was a ghost, and the person painting it had devil horns, and the painting was titled Painting Haunts Me. Okay. So this is why I make sure that I am in a beautiful headspace when I paint. I let go of any kind of negative energy. I sage, I meditate. I am aware that energy is transferred into the artwork from the creator. Objects even hold energy. This is like a priority of mine ever since, you know, I started painting, like seriously, the last 7 years, to just, you know, be in a beautiful space. And so I'm so lucky to have like be surrounded by like beautiful things all the time, because that is then, you know, I'm absorbing that all the time. So then after meditating, I will do like a bunch of sketches, like paintings on my iPads before I take the designs to the large scale painting. So that's what I've kind of been working on this week, is turning some ideas from sketches into larger paintings, and I'm going to continue to do that this week, as well as finish my commission, and I'll show you the piece that sold. Artwork is a lot more realistic than the pieces that the abstract works I'm doing at the moment. It's a different perspective, whereas the other ones are like an aerial view of the landscape. And yeah, I love this artwork, and I'm so glad it's found a forever home. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap things up for this week. If you're enjoying this series, please hit subscribe, and I will see you next week.